Excel supports named cells, allowing you to assign descriptive names to individual cells or ranges of cells. Then you use the names rather than the cell addresses in the formulas. For example, in our work that we're doing here with velocity, instead of using the cell, we can name our conversion, the 1.467. We can name that. So you select a cell, click up in the name box, and then type in your name for that cell. Now you cannot put in spaces, so be careful with that. So we'll call it conversion factor. Then in our formula we'll use that name instead of the actual cell reference. So equals distance divided by time times our conversion factor. Now how we do that, right? You just start typing it in and you'll see it listed on the drop down menu. Hit your tab to select it, and notice the cell B1 is also highlighted in purple just like it is in our formula for conversion factor. And then we copy the cells the same way using the fill handle. Now one thing with a named cell, it automatically places it as an absolute cell reference, so you don't have to worry about the relative addressing issues. Now we can also name cell ranges. Alright, so for example, our distance column, if I wanted to select those cells, I can name that range of cells distance. Now why would I want to do that? Well, let's say I want to take the average distance. So down here I can type in the formula equals average, and then instead of copying that range of cells, I'll type in distance, and it finds the average for me. Now with the named cells, if we want to actually see, because it's easy to figure out what you've done, if we go to formulas, over in the define names group, if you click on name manager, it'll show you all the different names that you've already designated. Now we can edit and delete them here. But let's say we delete the distance name. When I do that, our average formula is going to have an error because that name will no longer be defined. So I'm going to go ahead and delete distance. Okay. Now as soon as I close the cell, notice I got the error over here in my average. Now we can do the same thing for our conversion factor also up here. And it's just a good way using the name manager to see what names you have already defined. Names are great because you can use them in formulas and they make a lot more sense later on when you're trying to figure out what you've done previously.